Hi everyone. Well, here I am. I'm hoping that you can hear me. I'm trying not to be too loud, as obviously I'm in a public place. We are in Mennetou-sur-Cher, a lovely 12th century old town across the road from here. Behind me, you can see the bridge that goes across the River Cher, one of the rivers that I have swum in. Not this trip, I hasten to add, but I have done. So I thought, I'm hoping it won't be too noisy with various people coming around, but we'll see what happens anyway. But I just want to get this lovely background for you rather than just the emplacement, which is very nice. But there's our van, there's some chairs, and there's a hedge. So I think this is a bit nicer. So, welcome. The first little video from France, proper one. Apart from that little thing I did up in Maribor, which was amazing, I hasten to add. So I thought today I'm going to call this one, when I put it on YouTube, Let's Twist Again. I find, especially when I travel, maybe eating slightly different foods, different times. We haven't had the most brilliant weather, so we haven't been exercising super amount. Yeah, so sometimes twisting is just good, just to get everything going again, and it's great for the spine again, sleeping on a different surface than we're used to. So we're going to be doing some twisting, okay? It won't be a super long session, this one. I've no idea, but I hope that you'll find time to watch it and to enjoy it. So let's begin as we always do, finding a comfortable position, whether for you it's seated, lying down, even standing. There's nothing wrong with us starting our practice in Tadasana as well. So just taking a few moments, maybe closing your eyes, maybe keeping them open, whatever you're comfortable with. And as always, just draw yourself within. I can hear in the distance an aeroplane, wondering whether it's bringing people to France or taking them back, either home to the UK or somewhere else. I can hear the bird's song. And I can just feel the warmth of the air, a little bit of breeze. So just be aware of everything that you feel. It doesn't have to be anything particularly amazing. It can just be just what's going on right now, around you, surrounding you, and maybe within as well. Just begin to focus on your breath. You can try to still your mind just a little bit, slow it down, soften it, round off those rough edges of all of those thoughts, and bring yourself to a place of quietness, stillness maybe. Bring yourself to a place where you feel that you can go within. Maybe begin to lengthen and deepen your breath. Begin to find your Ujjayi breath. And just gradually, gently feel yourself going deeper and deeper inside. It's a wonderful place. We don't visit it often enough. We're invited to go within as often and for as long as we can. As you do that, whatever position you're in, begin to find the alignment through your spine. If you're seated like I am, then begin to feel you're sitting up even taller, straighter, lengthening the spine. And if you're lying down, just be aware of the settling of the shoulders on the ground, the alignment between the shoulders and the hips, and again through every vertebrae in your spinal column. And we're just going to stay here just for a minute or two, just with our breath. Try to keep your breath as long and as slow and as deep as you can. And as you exhale, really feel that you're releasing all the stuff you no longer need. Maybe add a little pause at the top of your inhale. Feel the expansiveness of your amazing bodies, and exhale the softening, the letting go, but without collapsing. Try to keep that elevation through your body or the length through your body, depending whether you're working with gravity or mildly against it. And lose yourself in the breath. Use yourself in the sound of it, the feel of it, the sense of the air moving in the nostrils, down the back of your throat maybe, the way your body expands and contracts to draw the breath in and to release it. Totally lose yourself in every aspect of your breath. Just 3 more. And as you exhale this last time, really feel that you're letting go of everything that you no longer need, everything that's bothering you, everything that is no longer serving you, no longer supporting you. Just let it go. And then just softly and gently return to our organic breath. And we begin to make a few little movements. If you're seated maybe like I am, then maybe you just rock a little bit side to side. If you're lying down, maybe take the arms above your head, have a stretch, point the toes away. If you're lying down, draw those knees into your chest, hug them in, maybe roll around a little bit, just for a second or two. And then in your own time, just bring yourself up to a seated position and come and join me. So I've got my magic dot. I always travel with it as either that or one of the soft balls we use. I forgot that one, so I'm using my magic dot. So please feel free to sit up on something if it helps you to keep your spine straight. When we do our twisting, we need to try to remind ourselves to keep the spine in its natural curvature rather than in a extension or a flexion. We want to keep it completely natural because that's the way our body is made, that's the way our spine is made. And when we twist, we're relying on the natural articulation of our spine. As soon as we get a bend in it or an arch in it, then we're changing that. So whatever twisting we're doing, whether we're going to do it seated as we are today, whether we're going to do it standing, maybe coming to revolved triangle poses like that, the idea is to have your spine in its natural curvature. Straight, but still with those little arches and little roundings. So in order for us to do our twisting safely while we're sitting, we really need to be as upright as we can. So find wherever you're comfortable. I'm comfortable cross-legged, but it may not work for you, so find a position that does work for you. And again, imagine that golden thread at the top of your head lifting you up. And we're going to start with super, super gentle. The twisting, remember, we ask it to be generated at the navel, at the abdominal area. So rather than taking the arms round first and then yanking the body round, we're going to allow the body to rotate round. So let's do that. Let's go round to the right-hand side, left hand, right thigh. You can keep your right hand here as well if you want. Maybe we'll do that to begin with. I've got the most amazing view of the River Cher to look at. Flowing quite quickly too. Slowly and gently come back to center. Let's take that right hand over to the left thigh. Again, left hand can stay on the thigh, sitting up nice and tall, and feel the twist coming into the belly. Breathe in, breathe out. And as you breathe in again, just come in. So again, let's think about what our twisting is doing. We're nourishing the spinal column by getting that rotation through each one of the vertebrae. Remember, the vertebrae are articulated slightly, so the one above rotates a little bit more than the one below. But also we're compressing through the belly, which is one of the things that I'm actually looking for myself today, is this kind of internal massage, if you like, just to help everything keep moving, massage some of those organs we've got there. I know we're not supposed to talk about having toxins in our body, but we do all naturally have toxins in our body, and we have organs that naturally deal with those toxins. I probably have a little bit more at the moment with a lot of camembert, a lot of yummy cheese, a lot of nice red wine. So I'm really going to enjoy these twists, okay? So we're going to do 3 more twists to each side, going a little bit deeper each time, okay? So up to you. Take your pace, let your pace come from your breath rather than my words, all right? So we're going to take that left hand over to the right thigh again. I'm going to bring the right hand back here a little bit to help elevate me as I maybe a little bit of encouragement, not necessarily from my hand, but just encouraging my body to twist more. Now I can see a little bit more of the river behind me. Slowly release and come back, working with your breath, guys, all the way around to the other side. I can see a little snack bar on the beach here, as they call it, on the riverside, which I think we'll be going to have a beer in later. And turn around. And just do 2 more, your time. You can either hold it for 1 breath, you can stay in each one for a couple more breaths. Really, whatever works for you guys. But feel that lovely kind of smooth movement through the abdominal area, through the spinal column. Feel each one just rotating around a little bit more than the one below. Feeling free to hold it for a breath or 2, or just to move in and out of your twists, whatever works for you. And just roll those shoulders a little bit. We're just going to slide the left hand away. I'm still struggling with my both arms, both shoulders. So I'm going to just tuck my right arm behind me. I'm going to look up towards the sky. I'm going to have to close my eyes because it's quite bright, which is lovely. And maybe just kind of lean over a little bit more, bring myself back up. Lean over a little bit more. I can look down to the floor, the grass in this case, if that's more comfortable for my neck. And I might even be able to come down onto my elbow. Slowly and gently come back up. Just take a little moment to see if that right side of your body feels a bit more open. Have I jammed in the left? I want to try to avoid that. So let's go to the other side. Right hand slides out for me, left hand behind. Feel free, remember, to bring that arm right overhead if you prefer. And just bending through the right elbow, lifting up through the left shoulder, looking up to the sky, the ceiling, looking down to the floor. Slowly coming down a little bit deeper maybe. It doesn't matter if this knee lifts up a little bit, it's fine. Slowly come back. One last time, guys, going wherever you need to go. Elbow on the ground maybe, lifting up through, looking to the floor, looking to the sky, and slowly come back to gentle center. Fabulous. Take a little breath here. Move the head around a little bit. So I'm actually going to stay on my magic dot. Here it is. You can see it's always a travel essential for me. I'm going to bring my right foot back to my left hip and bring my left foot over my right knee. So coming into a kind of a very casual twisting pose here. So already I feel the twist through my hips. I've got the tightness here. I really haven't done a whole bunch of asana poses while I've been away, I have to be honest. So I know my body's going to feel this. But then I'm going to sit up as tall as I can and make that knee in line with my sternum. Make sure we push down with the big toe to keep it nicely grounded. And then we're going to rotate around. And again, for me, there's always bits that get in the way, okay, guys? It really doesn't matter what shape we are. There's always bits. So if I was just to slide round, I can feel my belly getting caught on my inner thigh. So I'm going to lean back. I'm going to put my left hand on my belly and bring it round with me. So I've immediately got that more sense of freedom. I could just interlace my fingers here, have my forearm resting on this knee. If I wanted to, I could bring the elbow in, sit up a bit taller, as long as 2 things for me. That actually was quite uncomfortable for my shoulders, so I'm not going to do that one again. But it may be perfect. It does stretch out through the shoulder, the back of your shoulder. But also sometimes we go so deep that we collapse the lovely shape. So just go wherever you need to. Hand on the knee, maybe bring the other hand round behind you. Maybe hold them tight, whatever works for you guys. Just do this little Lord of the Fishes twist. Sitting up nice and tall. And then slowly and gently release. So we're just going to untangle our legs here. We're going to begin by sitting cross-legged the other way. So we're going to come back into our cross-legged position before we go into our twist. I think I've shared with you before, it took me 2 years to learn how to sit cross-legged and another 2 years to do it the other way. So if it feels awkward or uncomfortable, take your time. We're not going to force our bodies to do anything. So sitting up nice and tall again. Maybe we just do one little twist here. See if it feels any different. Now we've got our legs crossed the other way. Just take it nice and gently. And then we're going to come back to the Lord of the Fishes on this side. So now the left heel comes underneath the right buttock. The right foot comes over. Again, I need to make sure I'm pushing down with my right big toe to make sure that it's grounded. Again, for me, feeling it here already, sitting up nice and tall. And just that effort of sitting up, lifting the navel up, feeling that I'm rolling a little bit onto the middle or the front of my sitting bones, coming away from my tailbone. For me, this is almost enough through this butt cheek and outer hip and thigh here. Really feels it, I feel it quite strongly. So again, little lean back, take your right hand onto your belly, bring it round with you. It's totally fine. Now for me, my elbow on my knee on this side actually doesn't feel so uncomfortable in my shoulder, so I'm happy to hold it here. Do you want to take, and again, the other thing is to take the elbow to the outside, but again, make sure that we're not letting the ego take us deeper than our body is best in. So sitting up nice and tall. Again, if you prefer just to hold your leg, that's totally fine. We're bringing the left shoulder over to the right knee. We're bringing the right knee over to the left shoulder. Draw the navel in, lengthen up as much as you can. One more breath here. Again, always feel that golden thread on the top of your head, lifting you up, guys. And then slowly and gently come back to center. Fabulous. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Maybe holding on to the big toes, if that's available to you, with the first two fingers, like at the gun pose. Maybe holding on to the ankles, the knees. And this is quite interesting because I can actually watch myself here. And I didn't realize that one leg was much lower than the other. Look at this one. This is actually my right leg. It looks like it's my left to you. But I always thought that my left hip was the more open one. But I'm going to say not so much. So sometimes it's quite interesting to do some form of movement in front of a mirror. It doesn't have to be yoga, but just to notice how your body is balanced or imbalanced. And it's fine, accept it, love it, it's perfect the way it is. So just coming into our cobbler pose now, sitting up as tall as we can. Again, trying to get those shoulders down your back, trying to get the shoulder blades towards each other and down your back as if you're tucking them in your back pocket. And then maybe slowly just take those hands a little bit in front of you if you can. If not, just kind of, fold forwards a little bit. We're all different. Some people can really, prostrate themselves on the floor. I certainly can't. There's a lot of pressure on the ankles here, so make sure it feels comfortable for you. And then slowly and gently, let's gather those legs up. I'm going to extend them out in front of you. I know you can't see my toes, but my toes are going like that. And sit up as tall as you can. And again, if you need to bend the knees slightly, it's totally fine. We're just going to sit up tall, folding over, and maybe let those hands come down towards the ankles. Maybe come a little bit further if you can, holding onto your toes, and let the head come down. And just take a few moments here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me if I talk when I've got my head down between my knees. So just take 5, let's just do this and take 5 breaths, okay? So whenever you're ready, just come forwards. And feel that you've got to breathe into your back because the front of your body is completely compressed against your thighs. There's no daylight between them. Feel the ribs at the back of your body expanding, widening, deepening, lengthening, and as you exhale, let it soften back into the front of your body. And then slowly and gently bring yourself up. Fabulous. Let's just do one more little twist, our little mermaid twist. Just coming round, bringing both legs over. Let's take them over to the it's my left, but it looks like it's your right, maybe. And again, sitting up, notice how the right butt cheek, it took the lifts a little bit so we can drop it down. If you prefer to do this on the ground, then do. We're going to take hold of the shin with both hands of that right leg And again, feel the twist coming round. Try not to grab your leg and pull yourself round. That works the shoulders first. So if we can try to twist round and sitting up as tall as you can. Just notice how that feels. Slowly and gently come back. Take that left hand out and just reach the right arm up or tuck it behind you, whatever feels right for you. Just get that lovely sense of opening. And then we can stay on whatever support we've got, maybe, or you can come right off it if that feels better for you. Coming back into the mermaid pose on the other side. Fabulous. And again, we're going to take our hands over to the left shin now. And as we do that, as we move ourselves around, the idea is we move from the waist, from the navel, from the belly. You could take the head round if you wanted to. You could bring it round to the other shoulder as well. That can feel quite nice for the neck. Or you can just leave it in its neutral position. And slowly and gently come back to center. So let's just come back to wherever you feel comfortable. Stay with me seated just for a little while. We're going to come to a close in a moment. I just want to do a little bit of twisting myself and thought, well, let me just share that with you. I hope you're enjoying the view of the river and the bridge behind me. Menetou-sur-Cher. Lovely little village. We have actually been on this campsite before, but we only spent one night, so we haven't had a chance to look around before. And we are slowly working our way west and gradually a bit north, unfortunately, but that's okay. I gather you've had mixed weather as we have in the UK as well, so don't feel too envious of us being in France, apart from the wine and cheese, of which there's been a lot to compensate for not having sunshine all the time. All right, my friends, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart center, thumbs rest against your breastbone, sitting up nice and tall. We're all going to remain seated for just a short little Shavasana. Coming back to the breath again, reminding ourselves that we don't have to make fancy shapes with our body to do good to our body. All we need to do is to connect and move. Every step we take can be a moving meditation if we're connected with our breath. As soon as we lose our breath, then we lose our yoga. So in order to practice yoga, study yoga, however you want to view it, what we really need to do is to stay connected to our breath, and to bring an awareness to our body that we very often don't have. Let's just take 5 breaths together here, guys. Maybe breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe just return to your organic breath, or maintain that length and deepened breath if you choose. The invitation for you to stay here seated for a bit longer. Bring yourself down into a supine position and stay in Shavasana as long as you have available to you. I'm going to love you and leave you now, as I have lunch waiting for me back at the van. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad I managed to do this. I will try and do another one before we come back. Whether it's Zoom or just a little YouTube clip, I'm not sure. It depends where we are and the time and everything, so I do apologise for that. But thank you, everyone. Namaste. Take care.